We're calling to order the meeting of the Old Bridge Zoning Board of Adjustment, meeting for January 4th, 2024. The time is now 7:35. We're going to begin with a salute to the flag. If everybody would please rise. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We're going to now have roll call.
Mr. Clancy?
Present.
Ms. Savant?
Present.
Ms. Andrews?
Here.
Ms. Chevalier?
Here.
Mr. Scogno?
Here.
Mr. Stoner?
Here.
Ms. Testaverde?
Here.
Mr. Izzo?
Here.
Chairman Sullivan? And myself, Ms. Porcelli.
We do the Open Meetings Act? Yeah. Oh, excellent. Thank you, sir. The Open Public Meetings Act statement, adequate notice of this meeting of the Old Bridge Township Zoning Board of Adjustment has been provided in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act at least 48 hours prior to the commencement of the meeting by prominently posting in the municipal complex an announcement giving the date, time, location, and agenda of this meeting and mailing such announcement to the Home News and Tribune and filing a copy of such announcement with the municipal clerk. Thank you. The first order of business tonight, this is our first meeting of the year, so it's a reorganization meeting, is nominations and appointments. The first nomination will be for chairperson. Do we have any nominations from the board?
I'll nominate James Sullivan.
Second.
Do we have any other nominations? Then we will close the nominations. Roll call, please.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan.
Yes, I'd like to thank the board for their confidence. I'd like to thank the board for their confidence in allowing me to chair the zoning board for the year 2024. We'll move on to the next nomination. Nomination would be for vice chairperson.
I'd like to nominate Doreen Chevalier for vice chairperson.
I'll second that nomination.
Is there any other nominations for vice chairperson?
I'll second it.
You'll second?
Yeah.
Hearing no further, I'll close the nominations. Roll call, please.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan.
Yes. Nominations for the position of secretary.
Anybody?
I'll nominate Leon. Second the
I'll
nomination.
second.
Is there any others? I'll nominate Mr. Stoner. Is there a second to that? Seeing none, I guess it would fail, right?
Correct.
Okay. Roll call?
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan.
Yes. For vice secretary, I'd like to nominate Maureen Porcelli.
Hey, I'll second.
Roll call, please. I'm sorry, is there any other nominations by the board for the vice secretary? All right, hearing none, I'll close it. Close the nomination. Roll call, please, on,
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan.
yes, you notice we didn't ask you if you wanted the position, right?
Yeah, that was a.
Thank you very much.
Board members, for those watching at home, in a reorganization meeting, there's a necessity to appoint on an annual basis certain consultants that could aid the board when there could be conflicts or other issues. So we're going to go through a list of them now. We'll do each position but in some, I'm going to name two different agencies or firms that would be placed in nomination. So if anyone has an objection, you can do so before we take a vote, okay? For nomination for the board attorney, I would like to nominate Dasty and Associates, P.C.
Second.
Any other nominations by the board? None? I'll close it. Roll call, please.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan?
Yes. For planning consultants nomination, I'm going to name two. First one is Environmental Resolutions, Inc., and also CME Associates. Are there any others by the board? Hearing none, I'll close it. Anybody have any objection? Roll call, please.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan?
Yes. The next would be engineering consultants. I'm going to nominate two. It would be the same firms, Environmental Resolutions, Inc., and also CME Associates. Do we hear any others? I'll close the nominations. Roll call, please.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan?
Yes. Traffic consultants, I'm nominating the same two, Environmental Resolutions, Inc., and CME Associates. Do we hear any others? I'll close it. Roll call, please.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan?
Yes. Forestry consultants nominations, I'll put one in for nomination, Chestnut Arboricultural and Forestry Services. Do we hear any others? Hearing none, I'll close it. Roll call, please.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan?
Yes. Board members, you all received the 2024 Zoning Board of Adjustment Rules and Regulations. Hopefully, everyone has had a chance to look at them. I don't see any changes in them. I'm going to ask someone now to move them for adoption for the year 2024.
I'll move it. Chevalier?
Is there a second?
Second, Scogno?
Roll call, please.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan?
Yes. At this point, we're going to continue on with the actual meeting itself. Those are all the nominations and appointments. So we'll continue on the agenda on my number 6. I'm not quite sure if anybody has anything different. It's going to be resolutions, and we have one this evening, Board. 37-2023Z. It's Old Bridge Properties, Tesla. That's for a major preliminary and final site plan with a D variance. Mr. Clancy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yeah, this is for an application for 1324 US Route 9, Old Bridge, Block 6301, Lots 2 and 2.1. The board heard testimony on this back on meetings in October 5th, November 2nd, and December 7th, 2023. They did hear testimony from a number of professionals, including engineers and a professional planner on this. This was an application to install a car dealership over at the existing site that was over there. It is in a ED3 03 zone. There were it was a conditional use variance with a number of bulk variances that were attached to them. The board did, as I said, heard testimony, did vote on this, and it was approved. We're here tonight to be approving the resolution with the enumerated conditions set forth in the resolution that you all received in advance. Barring any questions, Mr. Chairman, this is on for approval tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Clancy. I don't think, unless the board has any questions, I'm going to ask for someone to move 37-2023 resolution. That's the Old Bridge Properties for the Tesla dealer for adoption.
Testaverde will move it.
Is there a second to Ms. Testaverde? Ms. Andrews as well. Roll call, please.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes. Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan?
Yes. The next one's a little laborious, Board, but I'm going to have to say this 5 times. Minutes of September 7, 2023 meeting. Hopefully, everybody got a chance to review. Absent any commentary, I'd ask someone to move them for adoption.
Chevalier, I'll move it.
Second, Scogno.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan?
Yes. The same applies to the minutes of September 21, 2023. Would someone move them for adoption?
Chevalier, I'll move it.
Second, Scogno.
Moved in second. Roll call, please.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan?
Yes. Did you catch up already? I see you're,
Yes.
okay. Break there. We'll all take a breath. Okay. Same applies to minutes of October 5th, 2023 meeting. Someone move them, please.
Chevalier, I'll move that one too.
Second, Scogno.
Once again, roll call, please.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan?
Yes. We're up to the last two here. October 19, minutes of October 19, 2023 meeting. Someone move them, please.
I'll move it.
Second, Scogno.
Second by Mr. Stoner. Roll call, please.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan?
Yes. And finally, on the minutes, it's the minutes of November 2nd, 2023. Same applies. Someone move them for adoption.
Andrews, move it.
Is there a second?
Izzo?
Yes, you're voting tonight, yes. Roll call, please.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan?
Yes. Okay. Made it. We did. That brings us to our only application for the evening, board members, and this is a continuance. We've heard the entire application. This is 60-2022Z, Abilio and Elizabeth Teixeira. This is block 24204, lot 26, physical locations 2075 Englishtown Road. This is requiring a D variance. Applicant proposes demolish an existing building, construct a larger building, continue storing construction, equipment, and supplies. Peter Clauser is representing the applicant. Sir? Happy New Year.
Good evening. Good evening, Happy New Year. Good evening, Mr. Chair, members of the board, your professional staff. Peter Clauser with the firm Heilbronn Pape for the record. This application was presented in full to the board at the December 7th meeting. At that time, there was not a full complement of board members to vote on the application. We were carried a couple of weeks later. I think your agenda fell apart that night, and we weren't going to be the only reason that you came out during the holidays to vote. So we carried it, and it was very nice that the board would allow us to have a vote on the reorg meeting. So we're here tonight for a vote on the application. Like I said, it was presented in full. It's for the construction of a commercial building, to be used as part of a second location for their existing business. And just to be clear, it is for use variance only. So if there are any concerns about the physical condition of the site or the layout, we have to return to the board for a site plan. Your professionals really haven't even reviewed it from that perspective, so there'll be an opportunity for them to provide any comments to make sure that the design and the geometry, we even discussed a little bit about that with the circulation in the rear, that all gets taken care of when we come back in front of the board, should the board vote favorably on the application. It's my understanding we have 6 available members to vote, and so we would ask if the board would take action.
I can query the board if there's any questions that they may have. I know you have witnesses here, and I didn't know, Mr. Clauser, whether you were going to do a summation. I don't know if the board wants to hear one. I'll ask. I'm not asking you to bring any witnesses at this point, but just so we have it clear.
Yeah, I'm glad you did that. We should put that on the record because it goes on paper. All of the witnesses that testified last time, including the applicant, are here this evening. Should the board have any questions, I don't mean to be dismissive of any of the board members that weren't here. We do have everybody here. We brought them here just for you. If you have any questions, I do not have any evidence to present. I think the application's pretty self-explanatory. It's one of these instances in Old Bridge where we have a chance to brighten up another piece of property along 527 and to bring a little more development in town, commercial development, small mom and pop stuff. So I think it's a good-looking application, but we do have everybody here if you have any questions.
And I recall that as well, and I know that was one of the points they were making about the beautification there that might occur, certainly on the front and on the sides. I know how we closed off on that night. But let me just check before you call for a vote. Board members on my left, do you recall, everybody recalls the application on this side? Okay, on this side, we do. Does anybody have any questions? No? Okay, I see no reason then you don't need a summation from Mr. Clauser. You've heard it already, right?
Yeah, I'm
You satisfied that we're good to go here?
Yes, I am.
All right. Board members, this is simply for a D variance. You heard Mr. Clauser explain. It still has to come back before the professionals and perhaps the board if there were other issues that came up. But this would be for the use variance for the building to be taken down and a new one to put up, compartmentalizing everything on that property. Is someone interested in, that's a D1. Someone interested in moving D1 variance? I will. Is there a second?
Izzo?
Testaverde. Izzo.
I'll give it to, I believe Mr. Izzo was in on that.
You didn't get to participate enough
Beat-
tonight.
What?
You didn't get to participate enough tonight.
That's right. It's okay. It's moved in second. Roll call, please. D1 use.
Ms. Andrews?
Yes.
Ms. Chevalier?
Yes.
Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner?
Yes.
Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan?
Yeah, I think it's a good application. Go ahead.
Point of order, I don't think Mr. Stoner was allowed to.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's right. He was
I'm
not
sorry.
because of
Correct.
death in
Not
the
that
family.
it's-
He had been out of the States.
Not that it's necessary, but, because it's already passed.
It is a point of order, though, right?
Works well enough.
Yeah, and my vote was yes as well,
Thank
obviously.
you. Thank you very much, everyone. Forward to another year of doing this with all of you. Have a good evening.
Two.
Happy New Year.
Good to see you.
We thank all your professionals for coming tonight. I'm sure none of them had anything to do anyway. It's the first week of January.
Mission accomplished.
It's never a waste of time for, all
Take
right,
it
Mr.
easy.
Clauser. And Debbie, nice to see you. Happy New Year again. We'll, I'm sure, see you through the rest of the year. I would have call for general public comments, but there is no one here in the public this evening other than us, so there's no reason for me to do that. I will
We can close it, I believe.
close the public comments. Before I call for a adjournment, is there anything from the township that Ms. Sawant might want to say?
No, I just want the board to know that we are pretty busy. We are booked until May. So you have a lot on your plate for the next few months. But yes, we are really busy. And last year was like a record year when we received almost, between the planning board and the zoning board, the department has processed almost 120 applications. So it has been a very, very busy year for the planning office as well. So hopefully, I won't say things slow down. I don't want them to slow down, but we might need some specials to shorten the wait time, because right now we are in May already. So, but when we reach that point, I'll reach out to the board.
Well, yeah, listen, it's, I want to thank the board as well for the efforts that everybody puts forward and gives up of their time, to donate that time basically to their civic duty here to help out in the community. I will note that if you didn't watch the inauguration, there was comments thanking by the Senator-elect and the former mayor, Owen Henry, as well as comments from council and from Ms. Walker, the new mayor, also thanking the many volunteers that come together in order to make all this work, because this goes by law. We can't have professional boards. You have to have people from the town to do the zoning and to do the planning. So I want to thank you all, and hopefully we all can be together to make all of our meetings. I know that's very tough. Sometimes there's other family issues, but I know you give of your time. I would ask you again, please, try and make as many as you can. Having said that, any comments on my right? Okay. Any, Mr. Clancy, anything on the legal front? No?
No, happy to be back.
Yeah, we're happy to see you. Anything on this side?
No, happy to be here.
Well, I wish everybody a very healthy, happy New Year. I'll call for an adjournment. Someone?
Testaverde.
Ms. Testaverde, Ms. Andrews. I see our hands are up. Roll call, please.
Ms. Chevalier? Yes. Mr. Scogno?
Yes.
Mr. Stoner? Yes. Ms. Testaverde?
Yes.
Mr. Izzo?
Yes.
Chairman Sullivan?
Yes, we stand adjourned. Next meeting is
January 18th.
January
18th? 18th.